Welcome to the Out of Home Insider Show. We're the loudest voice in out of home. And today we're going to talk all about one of the most legendary campaigns we've ever seen, right? Chick-fil-A. Everybody knows them. We wait outside for their sandwiches for hours on end. We're going to talk about what worked for Chick-fil-A, how you can use it, and ultimately how the economics make sense for any advertiser to consider doing 3D. And with me is the king of 3D, Eddie Carolyn from Soft Signs 3D. Eddie, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Tim, great to be here, mate. Great to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we had a great conversation offline and all about Chick-fil-A. And I know you've got so much great insight into that Chick-fil-A campaign. And why don't you just bring us that little bit of history behind Chick-fil-A, what worked so well, and what is that opportunity for brands today to be like Chick-fil-A in their own way?
Yeah. So you know what? We're just raving fans of great out of home and great marketing, and Chick-fil-A just ticks all those boxes. I mean, yeah, they moved from like mall locations into standalone restaurants, and that's a really tough go. If you're in that restaurant business, it's super competitive. You're up against giant corporations with big budgets, and yeah, you want to move into that. That's gutsy. It really is. And so they moved into that. And what's most amazing is that they actually had headwinds, big headwinds, not industry headwinds, their own headwinds. They don't discount. I mean, that industry is known for discounting. They're closed on Sundays. I mean, yeah, I mean, think about that as a percentage of sales. That's, it's like 15% of your time you close when your competitors are open. And then you're moving into this market, and you're outspent more than 10 to 1. And they went in, and, I mean, if I was looking at that business case, I wouldn't have invested. I would have gone, oh, but they did it, and they did it on, like, great food, we get it. But they did it with billboards. They did it with the out-of-home industry, and they just got great creative and put it up, put some 3D behind it, and then go back to same store sales in 2013. That's the data I have. With 1,700 stores, they outsold KFC's 4,600 stores. I mean, incredible. Just an amazing success story, especially for the out-of-home industry. Just like mind-numbingly successful. And to that point of how successful it was, and we talk about some a quote from Chuck Bradford, the manager of media integration. People don't like ads. People don't trust ads. People don't remember ads. If it looks like an ad or smells like an ad, people will tune it out. What will make your ad different? Chick-fil-A's ads ended up being in calendars. And Chick-fil-A was the largest seller of calendars in the US. The people liked the ads and the creative so much, they bought calendars of the ads.
They bought the ads.
They bought the ads. The cows became that famous that, and it outsold. What was the largest selling calendar? They were selling millions and millions. People were paying to buy their creative. That is what we need more of.
You can't do that. You can't do that with a Facebook ad. You can't do that with, an Instagram story. All of those things have value. But in terms of legitimizing advertisers quickly, at scale, in a way that's memorable, out of home really has no second. We see a second example of that with Brex. That's a study that we've talked about, right? And in a pretty specific niche, right? If you're not familiar with Brex, specifically targeting the San Francisco business startup community with business credit, right? Did I get that about right?
Yeah, it's a credit card, right? It's a credit card for high-tech startups. So, why would they be using billboards, right? They're in the tech biz. They're in the social media. They're in the, that whole space. Google ads and Facebook and Twitter, and they didn't. They put all their money in billboards and grew from $0 to $2 billion in 2 years. And they keep referring. There's so many great articles if people want to search Brex billboard campaigns. The Wall Street Journal did an amazing video with them, and they just explained it. They said, you don't get anything more powerful than this.
One of the key takeaways that I really appreciated about that was when they speak about how it made other things in their marketing work better, how their cold email outreach was received better, how when their teams were cold calling on potential clients, they were already legitimized in the eyes of their prospects because the prospects had been seeing them up on billboards. And anyone can be on a Facebook ad, but not everyone's on a billboard. So if you're on a billboard, you must be legit. So not only did it help their growth, but from a standalone component, but if you look at it holistically, what it did for their business, it made everything else work that much better and scale that much quicker. Would you agree that that's pretty consistent?
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's, really not what we say, but what they say, and they say it a lot. And they're just like, we couldn't believe, one, how cheap it was, and we couldn't believe that we could buy as much as we could. And then we couldn't believe that we just owned the city. We owned the audience.
Right, and we know outreach, Jack Trout, right, 22 laws of marketing. Mind share equals market share. And when you own that theater of the mind, and if you own it with outdoor, you can have so much fun with it. And one of the things that really owned that theater of the mind with Chick-fil-A specifically were the cows, right? The big 3D cows. I know we've got 2 sitting out back in storage, but it's pretty expensive, right? Like, let's be honest, it's been pretty expensive to do 3D billboards.
Yeah. That's and you know what? When we got into it, the 3D business, it was because of that. We were intrigued. We just like, why do we not see so much more 3D? We've got these wonderful canvases everywhere, and we can make them just boom, pop, make them memorable, use some 3D. And then, when we discovered it was just way too expensive. It just wasn't fitting any of the marketing ratios, the working, the non-working. And I think that's the courage the courage of the marketers the Richards Group in Chick-fil-A, they invested a lot of money in those cows, but it worked. But we just went, what can we reduce the cost? And we have. The way 3D vinyl is set up, we're at least 90% less than traditional builds. And again, coming from operations, we realized that, cost was the first obstacle, but there were more obstacles. There was transportation. If you look behind, you see that big 35-foot long shark. I mean, we sent that down and on a 42-inch by 42-inch pallet down to the guys down at Tampa Bay. And if that was made out of foam, that thing's on a tractor trailer. That's one big trailer. And so, having operations, a great idea, we're going to move ahead, we'll do some 3D, that's going to take a team of 6 guys, minimum 2 days, plus engineering on the frame itself, because you got to put it up there, cranes, like just an enormous amount of work. And so we went, could we get it down to 0? Why not try? And we pretty much did. So now we've incorporated the 3D element within the vinyl itself, and we've patented the process and the reinforcing. And so all the installers do, we ship it to them. They just post it like a normal vinyl, plug it in, and away they go. And so we've taken all the obstacles out of doing it, and now the biggest obstacle we face is just getting out to the industry and going, we're open for business. Let's look again, Tim. We love out of home. The only thing we love more than out of home is people that love out of home. And we believe there's a world where people are excited. They're driving and they're excited to see what's coming next. What's the next billboard going to be? Really entertain them. Tell them some stories. And great creatives it, and we can help. amplify that messaging.
So, excuse me, for somebody potentially listening who's got a great campaign, who's got great creative, but wants to add an element, that wants to add 3D, and maybe before it wasn't economically feasible. I mean, just some of the things you talked about with engineering to the structure and so many considerations. Is there anything that needs to be considered like that, or this could pretty much go up on any standard bulletin across the country or around the world?
Any standard bulletin it'll go up on, and there is absolutely nothing to do to hurricane frames. All they do is hang the vinyl. So it's just zero engineering. It's virtually a zero install. A few extra ratchet straps. That's all the ops guys need, and they're off to the races. It's awesome. It's fun. And again, there's videos of those installations. The ops guys take them for us, and they're readily available on our website. So get in, have a look at them. They're quite astounding. And yeah. But you know what? We talk about that because I'm thinking of the videos that are on the website. The light bulb store, and I think we might have just briefly talked about that. But if people go on the website, click on the light bulb on the top
Real
right.
Quick, Eddie, tell everybody what's the URL?
Just softsigns3d.com. That's it.
All right, and the light bulb, right? The light bulb it's a light bulb store in Texas?
No, it's in I think New Jersey, around that, and they ran the same campaign for 3 years, a directional, and they're just off the interstate. And so they had the same billboard 3 years. The young AE went to them and said, hey, we should do a 3D light bulb, and we'll light it up. And the store owner said, yeah, you're crazy. Why would I do that? You know what? We've already invested our money. We just put a new vinyl because it was time to change the vinyl out. No, you're crazy. We're not going to do it. And the AE just persisted. Long story short, they did go ahead with it. And now this video of what I'm going to say is actually on our website. So if you find it, you'll get it under testimonials. Fast forward 12 months later. And remember, he had the same campaign, same vinyl. The only difference is we made the light bulb in it three-dimensional and lit it up. They doubled the same store sales in the next 12 months. And we have got a litany of stories like this where people have just amplified the creative, used some 3D, and just the results have just, are mind-numbing. Chick-fil-A, yeah. So it's pretty exciting.
Really exciting, right? To take the same creative, right? I already believe in out of home. I like my design, but I would like to sell more stuff too. So just that, I've got the same campaign, same creative. We make one element 3D. It's a light bulb. We light it up because that makes sense. And they double same sort. I mean, companies would kill for that sort of growth. If you could double the production of one retail location or multiple, or the entire business unit, if you could take your existing campaign and get 10 to 20 to 15, different locations, what would that do to your business to just get those small incremental gains from something you're already doing, but doing it a little bit different?
Yeah.
Why not? Got lots of stories like that. One of my favorites is the centipede, right? That's one that folks will see on the website.
Yeah. That centipede is just amazing. It's just incredible. So we're on to version 2 of that now. And funnily enough, I'm just waiting for pictures today. The next one's posting today. So I can't talk about it until I see the pictures and it's posted. So we've changed the creative. But now, because there's no operational issues, so there's no obstacles to the operations, the preventative, great creative. Like they stuck to just more, less is more. They just kept it very clean, and all we did was put this 50-foot long centipede on a vinyl and shipped it down to them. We know you can't have movements of the legs. We just let them free flow. In the breeze, they would shimmer just like a centipede. They put it up. Albuquerque, they own Albuquerque. And then the beauty of it, put it up for 6 months, pull it down, 3 months later, up in another location. So they moved it around because 3D vinyl is as simple as moving a vinyl.
Wow.
Yeah, so they just and they ran that for 2 years, and we're waiting today. I'm just waiting for pictures. There's a new one posting today with a new theme, a new giant bug. But they own Albuquerque. You think of pest control in Albuquerque, it's the centipede guy's preventative, you know. Just having fun with it. Like, we're in a fun industry. Don't take it too serious.
So here's a client that didn't have to do, they're not on 4 or 5 bulletins and 20 posters. They're on one really powerful bulletin that they can move around the market. They're not confined to one location because of all the work that would have traditionally gone into a 3D billboard. So they're able to move it around and repurpose it. Really, when you start to analyze out the cost savings doing it your way, I mean, we're probably talking about really significant $20, $30, maybe $100,000, depending on the size of a campaign, what you'd be saving by
over 100,000.
Wow.
Over 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much more can you do if you saved 100,000?
Yeah.
What can that mean operationally for your business? Or
as we're discussing earlier, we get to see quotes that clients bring us and say, oh, you know what, we're looking at 3D, we're doing it now, here's our quote. And we would just, again, I can't mention it because we haven't cemented it yet, but the client they're using it 3D now, and they're paying. They have quite a few units up. What they pay for shipping of the 3D unit, just the 3D unit from the production facility to the billboards facility, just the shipping, that's it, is what it costs for us to produce it, attach it to the vinyl, supply the vinyl, ship it, and have it installed.
That's incredible. It's an incredible advantage to that advertiser to be able to get that much value for less money. And I feel like we could probably do this for a few hours, and I know we're going to do some more conversations like this. If someone wants to get in touch with you, find out more about Soft Signs, what's the best way for them to do that?
Eddie at softsigns.com, not 3D. It's just Eddie at softsigns.com, and it's EDDY. Go to the website, and that's softsigns3d.com. That's probably the best ways to reach out and get a hold of us. And we, as I said, we love what we do. If any inquiries at all, just send us the creative. We'll send you 24 hours. We'll turn around estimates for you. We love looking at it. We love the space. It's just so much fun. It really is. That's
great. Well, we're going to try to keep you busy. I'm going to make sure that all of your information are inside the show notes. So if you're listening to this, you didn't catch it the first time, just check in the description wherever you're listening to or watching this, and you'll be able to get in touch with Eddie. For the Out of Home Insider Show, for Eddie Carolyn of Soft Signs 3D, thanks so much. If this information has been helpful to you, please, we encourage you to share it with a colleague, with a client, with somebody that could benefit. As always, thank you for your support. From the loudest voice in Out of Home, I'm Tim Rowe. This has been the Out of Home Insider Show. We'll see you real soon.
Take care.